How are you? How are we today? Welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. Welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. Yes, thank you for coming on board. It's good to see you. Joya Titi, how are you? Good to see you this evening. I know you're going to hear a lot of stuff. Bookie 14, good to see you. Patience, Gigi, okay. It's going to be a fun night. Real man, hey. Binta, distinctions, I know who you are. How are you? Bibian, how are you? How are you people? Good to see you. Hope you're having an amazing weekend. Yes, hi. Hi. Yes, welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. We're just loading up the platform. We're about to take off very, very soon. Good. Shimuza. Uchibili, how are you? Hi, how are you? Joy, how are you? Zita and Bella Boo Boo, how are you? How are you? Akoto Night 20, Dance Floor by El Viva. I see you every weekend. Besong, how are you? Hi, Dance Floor by El Viva. Karath, Ashley, how are you? Davidson, how are you? How are we doing today? Yes, we're almost done loading up. King Sax, how are you? Really good. Well, welcome to 60 Minutes with PD. It's your fastest moving 60 minutes of the day. It's just the fastest moving. It's every Saturday at 8:30 right here. Just make it a date. Set your calendars and make it a date to be here on time. And we take off really quick. It's fast moving. Everything is moving really quick. So you want to get on time. Yes. And the 60 minutes is never enough, but it's okay. I'll be back next week. Okay, people. This week we're talking about dating. I hope you can hear clearly. We're talking about dating tips, the process, finding and ending up with the right person. And to be quite frank, it's interesting when I counsel people, I get a lot of people that tell me, I think I've ended up with the wrong person. And most times they're actually correct. They're actually right. But it's because they chose the wrong person while they were dating. So the only way you can ever end up with the wrong person that you're married to is because while you were dating, you didn't catch what you were supposed to catch, you didn't see what you were supposed to see, and now you've ended up with the wrong person, and then there's a struggle. So tonight we're going to take our time and we're going to decode everything pertaining to dating. We're just going to decode it, we're going to find out the process, and we're going to move forward. And from today on, I'm sure that dating is going to be something that you do strategically, knowing what you're doing and how you're going to do it, and getting the result that you want. And that's what's going to happen. So the first thing is this. Again, the topic is dating, tips on dating, the process of dating, and finding and ending up with the right person. So that you don't end up with the wrong person. So the first thing is, we've got to ask ourselves one question. Why do we date? Why are we dating? And this is a question that, to be quite frank, a lot of people miss it right here. And this is a foundational question in dating. And once you've missed it foundationally, then you've missed everything. Okay? So the question is, why are we dating? Why do we date? Why do we date? Okay? And the thing is this, I'll go through some things. Some people date for love. I'm not going to tell you whether it's right or wrong till a few minutes later. So some people date for love, and you might think that's okay. Some people date for love. Some people date for sex. It's an amazing thing where there's this person who normally I could never just like get into bed with her, but now that I've talked to her and we've agreed, and now she's my girlfriend. Okay, so we're dating. Not because we're dating, I can have sex with her just as if I'm married. That's just like an amazing plan. But but we'll talk about that very soon. So some people date for sex. Some people date for joy, for contentment, or for completeness. There's some people that if they don't have a girlfriend, they're not happy. They're just not complete. If they don't have a boyfriend, it's just not okay. So they always have to have a boyfriend. They always have to have a girlfriend just to be okay. So that's what they're dating for, just for this. And the key here is this. That's not the reason why you're dating. If you're dating for these reasons, it's the wrong reason. You're dating to choose. You just get that? You are dating to choose. You're dating to choose. So both of you need to realize that we're dating and we're choosing. So, and what are you choosing? Am I friend zoning you, or am I going to look ahead for a more permanent relationship called marriage? Okay? And it's good that we define it as marriage, because when you both agree that, you know what, we're going to live together and not get married, one, you should love yourselves enough to make it a lifetime commitment. And two, if it's not a lifetime commitment, somebody's going to step off at some point in time, and it's most likely going to be the man. At this point, you're older, you've got babies, and you know your marketability is lower. It's not in your favor. So if there are any women out here, you know, don't ever let the guy get into, you know what, there's no point getting married, let's just live together. It pays him, because at 50 and 60 he can step off and find a young woman, and you're stuck with the baby. So don't agree. If he loves you enough, tell him, we're going to make it a marriage. Let's get married. Okay? So yeah, and now why it doesn't work is this. If I'm in the process of choosing you, right, and I'm already having sex with you, when I find out that you're not the right person, I'm going to find it hard to walk away. I'm going to find it hard to kick your butt and just walk off. If I'm depending on you for love, you know, at this point in time, to be quite frank, if I give you my heart, but I've not decided that you're the one, how do I ever get away from you when I've now found out that you're not the one? Too many times, when people get married, they know that this is not going to work when they got married, but they have put so much in it, they can't pull back. And then they know it's not going to work. Then they get into it, and then they just enter a miserable and a horrible life. And you've got to avoid that, because you have to define it to yourselves that we're dating and we're choosing. And if for any reason, you know, it's not going to work, then it's not working, and I'm going to step off. And you don't want to invest too much. I've heard a person tell me that more than once, that I've invested too much in this relationship that I can't give it up. That concept is bad for business and is bad in relationships, because as a business person, you don't throw good money after bad. If I've made a bad investment, I want to cut my losses. No matter how much you've invested in the relationship, you want to cut your losses. You know, that's what you do in business, that's what you do in relationships. This is a bad investment. This person is not good for me. I can't take them into the rest of my life, so I cut them off. So this idea that I've invested, and the other thing too is this: why did you invest so much in a person that you're dating? You are dating. It's different to invest in your husband or your wife, but a person you're dating, why did you invest so much? So let's start to figure this out really well. Let's know exactly what we're doing. We are choosing, and then we choose. We choose. And don't put too much into it, so that when it's time to choose to say, you know what, you're just not the right person for me, you can move away, you know, easily, because you haven't been sleeping with him, your heart is not with him. And this is for the ladies, you know, don't be so quick to give your heart to a person you haven't yet chosen. You know, keep your heart in a safe place. It's like if I was going out, okay, I keep my jewelry and my valuable stuff, I'll lock them up in a safe somewhere where nothing can touch them. You know, keep your heart with God. That's a safe place. Just lock your heart up there and then do what you're doing till you're sure that the person that you're dealing with is the person you should be dealing with. Am I talking to anybody? So, okay, so we've looked at that really quick. You're live with PD right now, PD19. This is PIIDII19. I'm here every Saturday at 8:30 on Instagram, and it's always fun. It's always, you know, we have fun, we talk. Start to feel free to leave your questions on the platform. I'm going to attempt to answer every question about dating, about choosing the right person, about, you know, just the process. And I'm going to get into the process in detail in a minute. Are we good? Are we good? And then there's something that's going on that I see. We date like we're married, and then we get married like we're dating. Because if I'm dating you, I'm trying to choose you, and now you've abused me, and I'm still there, and I'm asking myself why. I'm still trying to figure if you're the one, and then you're cheating, and then I'm staying, and I'm asking myself why. You know, just why. You know, we're still dating, and you're messing up. You know, you're just not where you say you are. You're lying, and I'm still there, and I'm saying why. So people start to figure it out. When you're dating, you're choosing. If the person is outright messing up before your eyes, then don't choose them. You know, let them go away. and choose somebody else. And in a minute, I'm going to show us how to narrow down your choices quickly. Like in 30 minutes, you can see whether this person is the person or not. Just very, very simply. Like when people date, most people dating don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're looking for. They don't know who they're looking for. They don't know what they're looking for. Even if they found it, they wouldn't know. So it's just confused, and they're just poking in the dark and trying to see, well, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? That's a terrible way to look for anything or to choose. So people, let's start to just get the right mindset towards dating. Okay? If you have any questions, please just put your questions right there. Okay. Fantastic. How are we doing? Yes, we're doing good. Okay. Also, like when you're dating, don't invest a lot while you're dating, because if you've invested a lot, you can't pull back. And two, if you've invested a lot, then what's the incentive to take it to the end? There's got to be something that you've held back till the end. So the day we say, okay, let's get married, and we get married, I say, okay, then you get everything. It's like if I'm already drinking the milk and doing everything I want, I have no incentive to buy the cow. So there's got to be something that you leave behind for that time that we cross the line. If not, there's just no incentive. So we want to make sure that there's an incentive at the end. Fantastic. Now let's talk about the process. Now, if I was to send you right now to go to Accra and find me Nana, okay, or to Nairobi and find me Zawadi, okay, you are going to need something from me to be successful in your mission. And that thing that you need from me is a picture. Because if I say go to Accra and find me Nana, if you shout the name Nana, you're going to find a lot of people come to you. Now, you are going to have to spend time with each and every one to figure out which one of this is the Nana I'm looking for. Do you get? If you are a female, you're going to kiss many frogs before you find your prince. Do you get my point? So the first thing you need is a profile. Is a profile of who you want. So the first thing you want to do is make a list of at least around 10 items. Don't overdo it, like 10. On these 10 items, you list what do I want in the person I'm looking for. Okay, now listen to me carefully. And the first 4 lines, the first 4 items, 3 or 4, call them non-negotiable. Non-negotiable means if this person doesn't have this, I am not going to consider them. I'll give you an example. I'm a guy, so maybe I like full-figured women. Okay, so I can say, well, one of my non-negotiables is that the person must be teachable. Okay, and I know how to find out in 10 minutes if you're teachable. So I find this gorgeous chick, gorgeous, it's like wow. Okay, and in like the first date, I ask a few questions. Very, very innocently, just I'm smiling, everybody's relaxed, and I just ask a question, and she answers it, and it's the wrong answer. And I keep smiling, and it's going to be a wonderful date, but that's the last date. I'm not coming back, because I know she's not the one. Okay? Now, if you don't have that while you're dating, you are going to be as confused as whatever is ever confused. Just get my point. So you list down your items. Okay, I want him to be God-loving, teachable. Now, I'm going to tell you one word that most of you do not have on your list when you're shopping, and that word is teachable. This word teachable is actually, if you're single, it means nothing to you. But if you're married, teachable can make you cry. No, unteachable can make you cry and can make you just feel hopeless. And that's because nobody's perfect. People can come into a marriage with imperfections. Okay, but if they're teachable, then that's so good. We can both go and learn, and then we'll know the right thing, and then we'll change, and then we get better. The worst thing about an unteachable person is every problem that they came into the marriage with, every flaw that they came into the marriage with, it remains with them. You cannot get them to talk to somebody. You will not get them to read a book. You cannot get them to watch a video with you. You cannot take them anywhere to learn anything. So whatever they're doing to you, they're going to keep doing it to you till forever. And that is why people cry, and that's people are hurting and they're in pain. So for me, for all of us right now that's listening to me, this word teachable has got to be on your list. if they are not teachable, that's one of the biggest red flags. We're talking about red flags next week, but that's one of the biggest red flags ever. Okay, so you have your list, and then you put us tall, short, light, dark, everything, and you have your non-negotiables. So if they don't have this, I don't want them. Okay, so that's a non-negotiable. And then the next thing is this: you find definite ways of figuring out how to see. How to prove these non-negotiables. For example, now I could at our first date we're smiling, they're bringing the food, everything is smiling, everything, and very casually it's like, do you like to read? And you say yes. I say, okay, great. So what did you read lately? Okay, and you give me a title. Also, so what's about? Tell me about it. Now, if you can tell me all these things, I know that you're a reader, and for me that's good. People that are not teachable don't read. So that's one good thing. So okay, so did you attend any seminars lately, or do I just want to know? I just want to get a sense. Did you watch any videos lately? And if the answer is yes, I know you're teachable. And once I know that you're teachable, I check that box, and I know that you might get a second date. Okay, but if you're not, I know that this is the last time we're meeting physically. Everything else is gonna be on the phone. If you just get that. So that's the process. Every single person that's dating has got to have a profile that they know, so that when they're talking, they can very quickly figure out if this person is their person. I've got to end this really quickly. The profile figures, and I'll just end it here really quick. It's this: before you go start looking for somebody, you've got to know yourself first. Know yourself really good. Know what you want. Know what you can tolerate. Know what you can accept. Know what you can't. Okay, and then when you go searching. You can clearly know who you're going to take and who you're going to cancel. You get not cancel like that, but who you're just going to put in friend zone. Okay, you just get that. Fantastic. Okay. Most times too, people marry when people choose at their maturity level. So try to increase the level of your maturity, because you're gonna if your maturity is low, you're gonna, even though character-wise you're opposite, so that you fit, but the person. If their maturity is low, just like yours, you're going to be quarreling all day, all night long, and you don't want that. On the first date, don't bring up your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend on the first date. Don't do that. Do that later on. But first date, make it light. If you're trying to break the ice, people find it easy to talk about themselves. So what do you do? So where do you work? Talk about the jobs and everything, and it's easy, and you can break the ice, and things go forward nicely. Okay. So that's that. Also too, while you're dating people, find out about the emotional environment that they grew up in. Find out about the physical environment that they grew up in, because a lot of that is still in them. And then if it's not, then you want to find out too if there was a negative part in that, then you ask them what's their view on it, what have they done to, what's their perception that's different from what they experienced. And if they can tell you confidently what they've done, how now they think differently and everything, that's fine. But if they haven't addressed it, know that whether even though they didn't like what happened to them, they're going to repeat it in their lifetime with you. And you don't want to be involved, so you've got to be really careful about that. People miss out a lot. No matter how nice they look now, it's called packaging. No matter how nice they look now, go back to where did you grow up? Okay, what kind of environment was it, and what kind of emotional environment was it, and you find out, and then okay, so how did you relate to it, and right now how do you relate to what happened to you, or what you saw, or what exposed to, what have you done to just get that out of your system? Because if it's not out of their system, it's in their system, and if it's in their system, they will automatically, without them knowing it, recreate that scenario all over again. And guess what? You'll be in it, and you might not want it. Okay, I have two guests tonight, and I'm going to start with Aisha. I see that the platform is popping, and I need to get Aisha on board. Let me see. Where is Aisha? Here. So yes, I see. While we're waiting for Aisha to come on, I have a whole lot more. This is 60 minutes with PD. I'm here every Saturday. Aisha, how are you?
Hi.
You are looking wonderful as usual, Aisha. I can imagine the questions you have for me tonight. You know, I've built up my courage to take you on. So
Okay.
hey, how's it going?
First question is, what's your definition of dating? What is the definition between, what's the definition of dating? What's the purpose behind dating? Like courtship. What's that process called?
It's to choose. I just explained a few minutes ago that the whole purpose of dating is to choose. You're trying to choose that is this the person that I want to live the rest of my life with? That's the person. And once we miss that purpose, we get confused. Because if we're dating for company, we're dating for love, we're dating for sex, we're dating for whatever, that thing, that whatever it is that we've invested in a person that we have not yet decided is the person, it causes us not to be able to leave them. And then that's why we are dating like we are married. I mean, like it blows my mind. We are dating, and this person is subjecting you to unbelievable hardship, and you're dating, and I'm wondering why. It's
Would
like,
so,
most times it's because you've invested too much in the relationship.
so would you say it's okay to date multiple people at the same time then?
No, you'll get confused. Nothing wrong with one at a time, one person at a time. You
But
know,
then,
dating is a serious thing. You see, I counsel, and if you know how many people cry out to me, I need help, it will blow your mind. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. And the reason is because we missed it when we're dating. We miss if we get dating right, marriage will be a breeze. If we get dating right, marriage will be a breeze. Seriously. But then we haven't gotten dating right, and then we're struggling, and that's what's happening. And the truth is, a lot of people, almost everybody, know they knew before they entered the marriage that this problem existed.
so do you think that what's the time span you think people should date for? Like, how long should people date
Well,
for? Or they know to come out of the situation? When do you
okay,
really if this person is right for you or not?
okay. Dating, like I said earlier, it's a process. The process I said with the list, like your non-negotiables, you can knock off most of them in like a date or two. Then there's some things that you've got to watch and see if it's there, okay? Because you want to really see how kind they are and how generous they are. You want to see how good they are. You want to see where their heart is. This might take some time, and time reveals. You know, so like you might need time on your side. So personally, ideally it's 9 to 12 months.
Nine
Ideally,
to 12 months.
yes. Ideally, it's 9 to 12 months. Ideally. If you find people that really understand what they're doing really good, you could date successfully in 6 months because you can eliminate a lot of things and find that this is the person. But ideally 9 to 12 months.
So PG, don't you think that dating actually opens the door for like sexual relationships?
Only if you allow it.
I don't think if you allow it. Okay, for example, and I think this is really dedicated to our male audience because me
It's for everybody. Let's not point
no,
fingers.
wait. Me as a female in the courtship world, I find that a lot of the opposite sex always put so much pressure on the fact that they can't date someone that they are not sexually involved with. That sex is very important in a relationship. Is this just someone that's not serious? Because some people have actually abided by that rule and then ended up being married. But for someone like me who is not interested in walking in that path, how do I deal with this kind of situation? I remember someone said to me not too long ago, that's a decision you've made. It doesn't mean I have to make the same decision.
And I'll tell you this: a person that says that to me, I will thank my God that I'm not married to him. Did you
Okay.
did you did you see the heart that those words came from? A person
No.
that will look you in the eye and says, "Well, that's your decision. That's your business." Can you imagine what life would be like if you're married to that man? You just get that. So for me, it's like at the end of the day, it could actually be a test of how much do you love me? How I mean, like do you love me enough to wait 9 months? Do you love me enough to wait 12 months? And if the answer is no, then that love is really not the kind of love I'm looking for. I'm looking for a person that's going to love me for the rest of my life. for
Yeah.
better for worse. You get, even when I lose my figure and everything, that you stay and not stray with the next short skirt that goes by. You get,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, if you see, dating is about disqualifying people that don't qualify.
Okay.
And the whole idea is that you need to disqualify a lot to find the good person. So if you're trying to hold on to what just came your way, you could end up in trouble. So it's like an elimination game. So I'm in it and I'm eliminating, boom, 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 and I boom, okay, this guy, this clicks. So it clicks, then I spend some time. But if you're reluctant to eliminate, you're gonna end up with what you don't deserve, with something that's not good.
Very true, which is always the case. But and then the next question I wanted to ask was that during the dating process, I seem to find that we as women allow a lot of things because apparently you're supposed to be more tolerant during the dating process so that you can enter into marriage, and you're supposed to package yourself so that you can actually get married. I find a lot of women always tell me, don't show your true self. You have to package yourself so that you can get married. And I personally don't believe in packaging myself. I believe in showing my authentic self and having someone love me for who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, you as a counselor, how would you advise someone like me who likes being themselves? I like being myself. I'm very playful. I'm very yes, I like to do, like, Snapchats. I don't think I should stop doing things that I find to be fun because I'm trying to package myself for a guy. But apparently that's the only way you can find someone to settle with. How do I deal with that kind of thing?
Okay, the thing is this. When you say I want to be myself, I don't know the full details of that, but I get a sense of where you're coming from. And what my thing is this: men marry wives, they don't marry girlfriends. And this might sound like a strange sentence,
Yeah, but
but
what's
I'll tell
the
you what. But yeah, I think now it's like this. If a woman has a girlfriend mindset and she's living and expressing herself with a girlfriend mindset, then a man automatically keeps her in the girlfriend zone. And when she starts to demonstrate a wife mindset, then he starts to consider making her a wife. Do you get my point? And I'll tell you this too. For men, even for women as well, there are things that you will accept from your girlfriend that you not accept from your wife. And this is a discussion that many people must make. Many people must make. We're fine. Things are really nice now. But tell me, as a wife, what do you expect from a wife? Do you get? And now for a woman, you've got to get a sense of what you expect from a wife and start to click, to check those points in a way that he sees that, okay, you know what? I have a wife here. Too many times I see where you marry this guy, nice guy, he's cool, he's well educated, everything, and then you marry him, and then he wants to make you a slave. It's like, if you don't, you got to kneel down for you give him my food. You've got to do this, you got to do that. I just made many rules, and you're wondering, where did this come from? You see, he when you were a girlfriend, everything you did was fine, but now that your wife, his mind is different. Has a lot to do with what I said about figure out where he grew up, where he's coming from, what's in his head, what's the environment. So it's part of what we are saying here. We are
but
whatever you do, make sure that it fits into what an average guy would accept from a wife. So I don't know what you mean by playful, but there's something that. Give me some examples.
shouldn't that be both ways? Okay, for instance, I'm into entertainment. I'm an entertainer. That's one of my job descriptions. I feel like, when I get my hair done, when I look nice, I like to show my audience that, yeah, I got my hair done today. I like to sing to songs. I like to karaoke a lot. I like to dance. I'm very fun. I don't feel like I have to sit down, like one grandma, or, I
I
feel
mean,
like
that sounds okay to me, as long as it's not like sexually. You know how a guy would not want his wife to be out there trying to, maybe, I don't know, sexual, what's the word now, sexually, whatever, like,
but does that
proposing
go
the audience,
both ways?
that kind of thing.
Go
Now,
both ways?
most guys would probably not flow with that.
But
So
does that
so it depends on what's being done.
but does that go both ways for men and women?
Yes, even for a woman, you don't want your guy to be out there trying to market his goods.
Oh, I think I would like my man to be sexy, PD. I kind of like that
No, no,
sexy.
no, sex is good to you, but not trying to market his goods.
Oh, I don't
Because
mind.
okay, so you're kind of unique. Ladies on the platform, please, chip in. You want a guy out there on social media marketing his goods. If you are, if you have a yay, let's hear a yay. And it's a nay, let's hear a nay. But that's out there. But for a guy, if I'm speaking for the guys, it's like guys don't like other people playing with their toys. Or, you know, even when we're small, we don't like to share our toys. So it's like we don't like to share our women too. So you know, guys, so you got to key into that, because the thing about thinking like a wife is being considerate, where love is not about you actually.
You have a lot of
One of
names.
the basic rules of love is that love is always about the other person. So if you apply that rule, then you've got to figure out how the other person is taking what you're doing.
Well, fair. You have a lot of women saying nay. I don't think they're ready for anyone to. But maybe I'm just, like you said, maybe I'm just
You're
different.
special.
Maybe I'm just different. Okay, so the next question I want to ask in regard to courtship. At what age do you think is appropriate for people to start dating?
Wow, that's a tough one. To be quite frank, now one thing I want us to get clear is this: the way that we are doing things is not necessarily the right way, because we already see the results. It's not good. Okay, so what I'm going to say may not sit right with many people, but it will not sit right with you because it's different from what's going on. Because to be quite frank, I see when a 12, 13-year-old wants to have a boyfriend. For what? They can have friends. And we should make it clear from when they're small. Have friends. You can have friends with them. Just have friends, you know, but don't name them anything. Dating should start at like maybe 17, 16, 17. I mean, an age where you kind of know what you're doing. You know, yeah. So I'd say 16, 17, 16, yeah, 16, 17 is fine, because at that age you know what you're doing.
When
But
should
not
you?
when I see, but I see what 13-year-olds have girlfriends and boyfriends. You know, that's just not like for what? They should have friends. They're just friends. Once you put it, once you give that label, then you know it gets their heads going in the wrong direction, and then they're putting too much in it. I mean, you find a small girl that wants to give her heart to a 10-year-old boy. You know, what's a 10-year-old boy going to do with your heart but trash it? So we've got to really be careful what we do. We don't have to do things the way that others are doing it, because we have our own brains. We can think.
Okay, so my next question is, when should you first have your first kiss when you're in courtship?
What are you trying to do? Put me in trouble. The first kiss. Why are we kissing? Where does the kiss lead to? What kind of kiss are we talking about? A kiss,
Like
a peg, or you know, a proper French kiss?
a French,
Let's get into details here.
a French kiss.
But do you get my point? A French kiss. Now where's a French kiss leading to?
So people could just like kissing, just so you know if he's, you know, kissable.
It's like this. It's like, and I taught this before. Like you need to know the destination when you start the trip. If you start the trip and you don't know the destination, you'll end up somewhere that you don't want to be. Just get that. So like when you're older, you're more mature, you can kiss, you can control yourself, it's fine. But I wouldn't say, you know, where you just start to kiss anyhow, because a kiss in itself is innocent, but it's the beginning of a journey, and we all know where it leads to. You just get that.
Fair enough.
So it's not something I will focus on. I will focus on knowing the person than the kissing part of the dating. I don't know if you get the see and if we realize that dating is about choosing, okay, trying to get into kissing and stuff like that will not be important to us. It's because we are dating for physical satisfaction that we're not thinking about kissing. We're thinking about physical things. But we've got to reroute our minds that if all we're trying to do while we're dating is choose, then we want to leave the physical out. You realize that once you start getting physical with a person, your brain is messed up, especially if you really enjoy it. I mean, because they could be really bad for you in some areas, but because this is so sweet, you stop being able to choose correctly, and then you end up in a lifetime of struggle.
So PD, why do you have to give yourself, if you're not kissing, you're not doing anything, you're just getting to know each other, why do you have to be in a dating situation? Why can't you just be friends that are getting to know each other, and then from there, marriage?
And that's fine.
So I don't think people date. I don't think that people should put a type. Like, I decided personally that I don't want to entitled anymore. Like I don't want to. I feel like it just opens doors for a lot of questions and a lot of stress. I just rather just be, let's just be friends. And if you get to know me as a friend and you fall in love with me, then pop the question. Is that me being silly, or I don't know? How do you?
No, no, it's not you being silly. Like because we've put giving dating a name and a brand. People come with expectations that okay, now that
Ex-
you've said yes to a date, which means yes about choosing, and now I'm entitled to stuff. Now, if you're a person that you're able to just say, you know what, forget it, that's not going to happen. These are the rules. So if you can do that, fine, do that. But if you can't, then just don't get into it because dating is about choosing. It's about choosing. And if we don't choose right, if we get our perspective all fuzzled, we'll choose wrong. And then we end up like there's so many marriages today that are struggling. You have no idea. And that's because people have not chosen right. If they chose right, of course there'll be there'll be some struggle, but not to the degree that I see it. Aisha, I'm going to
no, it's
invite the
fine.
next person. Okay,
It's,
so give me one more question, and then
uh,
I'll bring Dayo on.
um, I personally feel like when you're dating, um, it's kind of like when you put a title to it, it's kind of like a waste of time, and which leads to like when you now finally break up with the person after 12 months, you've basically wasted a whole year on nonsense. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you deal with the whole
If
process
you
of
if you
breakup?
follow the process, if you follow the process that I gave you right now, you would never do 12 months before you know that he's the wrong person. Because if you did 12 months before you knew it was the wrong person, you didn't know what you were looking for. And if you approach and really like if you missed it, then replay this video. There's a process. Once you've got your profile, you know clearly who you're looking for. You've got your non-negotiables. Once they don't hit the non-negotiables, you X them out. And if they do, then you've got a good 60% chance that they're the one. And then you now spend time to figure it out. But if you keep it in your mind that this whole process is to choose. So it means I'm not going to invest my heart. I mean, I'm not going to give my heart to a person I've not yet chosen. I'm not going to give my body to a person I've not yet chosen. I'm not going to depend on this person who I've not yet chosen for all my emotional needs. I'm just not going to do that because I am still in the process of choosing. But we mix it up. We date like we're married, and then we're married like we're dating, and then we're all confused. And it doesn't have to be that way. Is that
Okay.
good?
Yes. Last
Fantastic, Aisha.
question.
Yes.
One last question. So this one is very, very important. I just have to get this one out of the way. So in Nigeria, I find that there's a lot of tribalism going on, right?
Okay.
So should that be one of your personal ticks, especially when families are involved? Because when you go into marriage, families get involved, and a lot of families don't believe in. For instance, Yoruba people don't really. Most Yoruba people don't want Yorubas to marry Igbos. Most Igbo people don't even want Igbo people to marry Yorubas or anybody out of their culture. Should that be part of your priority list?
It has to be because okay, not a priority. It's going to be a question that needs to be answered because can you imagine you've invested everything and then at the last minute the family says no. This is our standpoint. So in the dating, while you're choosing, part of your questions will be to ask him like how your family feel about us. Is there anybody else in your family that's married outside of their tribe? You get what's your father going to say? What's your mom going to say? Um, you know, at some point, let's go visit. And, please let them know that I'm from this tribe. And let's see how these are the things that need to be discussed. Everything needs to be discussed during the dating process because that's how you get to the point that you say, well, this is the person. You get so it's really important. Fantastic, Aisha, looking amazing as usual. Talk to you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Aisha. I'm gonna just come and bring on Dayo right now, and hopefully she is here. Dayo, I need you to request. I don't see you on my request list. Nope, I don't see Dayo here. Talk to me, people. I don't see Dayo here, but no problem. Yes, I see you now. Okay, fantastic. I have some questions. As Theyre comes on, let me answer some of the questions that I have here on the screen. Hi, Dio, how are you?
Good evening,
Good to
PD.
see
I'm
you.
very well.
Hi, you're looking good.
Thank you.
How are
Thank you
you?
very much. I'm very well. How are you?
Good, great. The topic is, dating, since the process, finding and ending of that process. I hope you've been following, so you kind
Yeah.
of know the. Good, talk to me.
Okay, so let's start with my questions. So as a Christian, how are we required to date?
As a
Or
Christian,
how do
how
you?
are we required to
Yes,
date?
yes.
Okay. Like I said, dating is about choosing. Is just about choosing, and we keep it at that. We just keep it at that. We can interact, do whatever we're doing, but the main goal is, are you the right person? And of course, as a Christian, you keep everything on the up and up, everything on the clean and clean. But
Yeah.
but it's just like, I know who I'm looking for, and I'm just going to make sure that you fit this profile I have. And if you fit, then we can take it further.
Okay. 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 Is there a difference between dating and courtship? Because I've had different conversations whereby I've just gotten so many explanations of what dating and courtship should be. So can you tell me that
Okay,
if there's a
okay.
difference?
There's a slight difference. Like if you say it's a courtship, then I've proposed and you've agreed. Okay, so it's like we're engaged. Now we're
Okay.
in the courtship. See, the dating I'm choosing. I'm just like choose. I'm like,
Okay.
it's like I'm eliminating. And finally, boom. Okay. Now, if you found the right person, the next thing you should do is propose. Both of you should agree, and okay, we're gonna get married. So at this point in time, you're engaged. Now it's a courtship. And even in the courtship, the purpose of the courtship is to rub off all the rough edges. Like when two people come from different ends, you still don't know yourselves. That courtship is to get to know yourselves better and get the edges smoother, so that when you get married, the coming together will not be as what's the word now, as dramatic as it could be. You get, so that's the difference. But in all of this, you don't invest, because a lot of people have been engaged and never got married.
Mhm.
Quite a few people I know engaged, never just got married. So you still, the rules are the same with dating. You're not expected to give them your body or give them your heart completely till the day.
Till the day, the last day.
The big day. So that's what makes the big day exciting, you know.
Okay. Okay. So, um, while dating, is it possible to know the person, to know your partner well? Is that possible?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because like while you're dating, you've got to ask a lot of questions. I find a lot of people who they're married, and now that they're married, they still can't ask certain questions of their spouses. They still cannot communicate well. And I'm wondering, how did you get into the marriage? Which means you've gone to dating, you've gone to courtship, but there's no communication. And that's wrong. From the day you like we meet, you're asking questions, you're asking all sorts of questions. And one
Yeah.
thing to like, don't imply things and don't expect. Ask the question. If it comes to your head, ask it. Especially when you're dealing with a man. A man will answer, an honest man will answer a question that just directly. If you ask him, are you going to marry me and when? Or are we dating, or what's your plan? No, just ask him point blank. And he'll say what he has to say. So let's not get away from good communication. It's important.
Okay. Recently on social media, I saw this message where it was advising single people not to take advice from their pastors or and family members when choosing their partners. What what do you
My
have?
my question would be, who should they take advice from?
Yes, but I guess the reason the person or the reason for that was because they were trying to say that your pastor and all your family members
won't be in the marriage with you. And I guess whatever advice they're giving you is based on their own experiences, and your experience in your marriage will be different.
I believe that really everybody should study marriage. Everybody should study relationships and marriage. It's something that we all do, and when we do it, we're doing it for a lifetime. So it's something that we have to know about. It's like we go to school for 18, like roughly 18 years to do a career that we retire from, we hope to, at 45. And then we get into marriage till death do us part. But we think we're going to be successful at this marriage without studying, without So maybe not from people that aren't qualified, but you should get advice. Talk to a marriage counselor like myself, talk to, buy books, go to seminars, watch videos, but don't go blind, don't go ignorantly into relationships and marriages, because there's just a better way to do it.
Okay, noted. Another question is, I find that when you're in your mid-30s, early 40s, it's difficult dating. Why?
Because most times you're not going out as much as you used to. See, and I'll tell you this, like at that age, the key is this. If you don't have a life yourself, how do you expect somebody else to want to come and have a life with you? And that's what really happens. Most times at that age, people in that age, they've gotten into different things that they're doing, but they're not really having a life where they're like, if you have an enjoyable life where you're going out, you're doing fun things, and just enjoying your life, you will find somebody who wants to enjoy this enjoyable life you're having with you. So if they will get a life, they get somebody else to come who wants to live that life with them. But most times at that age, some people are better. Some people are just pulled away. Some people, if they, just because they're not married, they're not joyful, because it's past the time. But that's not how they should be. You've got to find yourself, find your happy place in yourself, where you're going to the gym, you're a member of this club, you're doing different things, and you're enjoying your life. And in the process of living a life, somebody's going to say, you know what, you're living a really good life. I'd like to partner with you to live this life together. And then it happens.
Okay. But then also, in living that life, you'll find people who don't like that life. They like you, but they don't like the life that you're living. And that could be a negative.
Then you shouldn't choose them. Even if they choose. See, you don't have to choose whoever chooses you. You don't have to choose who chooses you. You just get that. So if I live my life and it's a clean, decent life, so if I come and I partner with you, I lose myself. That's not the plan. So I don't choose you, and I don't know why you're choosing me, because obviously the life I live is not to your approval. So it's like, my question is, why are you even choosing me? If you're confused, I'm not confused. It's good to just not be confused. Where you're coming from, where you're going, and if you can't bring your confusion and mess me up, I'm just not I'm not going to accept it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So Abba has a question. Experience has made too suspicious of men. I have a few lists of dateable men. For an experienced dater, what are the major red flags you should be wary of?
Next week, we're going to talk about red flags. So I don't want to get into red flags now because it's a whole big thing. But next week, there's some caution signs, there's some stop signs. Just two.
Just two.
So my first red flag is an unteachable person. Once I just realized that you will not pick up a book to read, you will not follow me for counseling, you will not sit down with me and watch a video and learn something. Once I figure that you're not teachable, I am out. Okay. The next thing I have in mind, it's in line with that as well. Any opinionated person, where you're the only one with an opinion and you're always right, you are out. You're just out. because I'm just not willing to deal with it, because it's too much pain, and then they may never even change after everything that so it's like just gone.
Okay.
That's good. I have a question here. It says, we've been sexually active in our relationship and have now decided to be celibate, but he doesn't agree and I really love him. What should I do? Now, one thing is this. You've got to understand this. If a person doesn't love you enough, they show it. So if you still compromise and follow them, your compromise will not bring love out of them. So if I say I'm celibate till we get married, that's not forever. And if you can't wait and marry me quickly so you can have what you want, but you want it now without the commitment, if you are confused, I'm not confused. So I'm not going to go with you. And if you don't love me enough to wait, then you see, when we're married, what if I get sick? What if some stuff happens to me? If you don't love me enough to stick with me on a little issue like sex, I mean, come on. I mean, like what are you bringing to the table? So my advice here is, if he wants to go, let him go. He was just not good enough for you in the first place.
But you do know that there are men that will marry you because you've held back on the sex. You've held that out. They will marry you. Once they get married, a few months or a few years, if you're even lucky, they come out of it. So,
but that's because you missed something else. You see, it's not all about the sex. So fine, I will celebrate, but then I should have caught that in the
other things.
In the dating process. So it's a holistic thing where the sex is just one check, but there are other checks as well. So
Yeah.
so it's all holistic. So fine, I was right on the sex issue, but then I obviously got it wrong on other points. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's a good one there. I have a bunch of questions here. He's always avoiding the topic of marriage. Should I just walk away? Why are you dating if marriage is not up there? You get, and I'm not saying get married now. Get married now, but we're dating to choose. Choosing for what? Okay? Is it friend zone or is it marriage? And if it's marriage, it doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be next year. But give me a plan that this is where we're going. But if it's just avoiding it completely, see, I'm a guy. I'm a guy. The person you want to marry, you will say. And if not, then you'll give your reasons. But he just avoids it. You're just, he's not feeling you like you're feeling him. And that's one thing too that women need to know, that you gotta really see, is he feeling for me the way I'm feeling for him? And if he's not feeling for me that way, I need to not put my heart out there to a person that's not going to value it. If not, it's going to be trashed. Did you just get that?
Yeah.
I really love him, but he's so stingy. What should I do? But you said you really love him, which means you love him stingy. You see, we've got to really listen to what we say. You said you really love him, which means that you love him stingy. So, pray and try to demonstrate generosity to him. But if gifts and generosity was a big thing for you, then you shouldn't really love him. Now, like when I hear stuff like this, that I really love him, but there's so many things I don't like. I know that this person may have given out more than they should into the relationship. So now it's difficult to back out. And that happens a lot, Let's see here. Yes, talk to me.
Sorry, there was something you said earlier in this session. You said that so you're in the relationship and you should wait. Oh gosh, how was it? So the man, you should wait for them. So obviously you hold out on sex, and then you're hoping that he loves you to marry you in 12 months' time. Now,
Okay.
My question is, how does he love you? How does he know he's going to love you in 12 months' time, in the future? He's only getting to know you. So why should he be willing to wait 12 months to get married to you?
Because he loves you.
Based on what?
Because he has said it and he's keeping his promises. You see, the whole idea of dating is you're communicating, and you're opening up to yourselves, okay? And if you've been in communication with a person consistently, and you know that they're not liars, they're not dubious. I mean, because a liar, eventually you will know that some things that they're saying isn't checking out. They're not dubious, and you can feel their heart. There's something about dating where you can feel a person's heart, okay? So you know that this person is for real. And you've checked the things that you want to check, and it checks. and there's a rhythm. Sure, I mean, like nothing is 100% guaranteed, but then you can work with a good 80%, where like 80% chances this is going to work out because everything is checking out and you both are getting along. You just get that.
Yes.
So it's actually not that difficult. One question here says, I really like this guy and I get the vibes that he likes me too, but he's not saying anything. Can I tell him I like him as a woman? I can't stand seeing someone else having him. That's true. I believe in just being, yeah, like actually, I actually do. It's like, ask the guy, he's like ask him. I don't know what point like your friendship is in. It's like, ask him, do or like if you're already talking, it's like, what's your plan with me? Are we going to get serious? Say something. And if it's a yes, then he'll say yes. And if it's a no, then okay? But this idea of not being able to ask people, you see, if you don't ask, then you don't know. But if you ask, then you can move forward. And if he says no, then it was never meant to be. And you've lost nothing. Okay? So in all situations, and for men, many times men may not volunteer information, but ask them. It's like, okay, do you plan to marry me? Like, yeah. I mean, it's not going to kill him.
Yeah, but he says yes, and I mean, men have been known to lie or to tell you what you want to hear.
That's why you should be discerning. It's like while you're dating, you're not believing everything because you're still checking out. So you're checking out what they say. You're checking out a lot of things. You're just verifying many things. You're checking out the environment, their friends, and with men in particular, look at their friends well. Even though they say they're not doing what their friends are doing, they are, because the only reason why they're friends is that they have common language and common conversations, and our conversations are usually about what we do. So if we stop doing the same thing, our friendship diminishes. Okay, but if we remain friends, we're doing the same thing. So that's just a tip for the ladies. Look at their friends really good. Get close to some friends and know exactly what those friends are doing. Whatever they're doing, the guy's doing it too.
Okay.
I can say that 95%.
Okay. So I think we have 3 more minutes. So one question I have is, do you agree when people say that the best place to meet a good partner is in church?
No. Now I'll
Thank
tell you this.
you.
Now I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I can put a donkey in a garage for 3 years. 3 years. Okay? Then when I come back, can I expect it to be a Ferrari or a Maserati? No, it's still a donkey. Okay? So there are many donkeys parked in church, that they are still donkeys. Okay? And one of my things is this, that your best person to want to marry is a person who knows that God loves them. Because not a person who loves God, not a person who is in church, but a person that knows that God loves them. Because if they know that God loves them, then they are able to supply you from that love. I don't have the time tonight, but anybody who knows that God loves them will love you adequately. But being in church is not like the devil goes to church too. Yes. And there are many people that go to church on Sunday and they're devils outside. So don't never qualify anybody because they go to church. You're on 60 Minutes with PD, the fastest moving 60 minutes of the week. We're about to shut down in 2 minutes, I believe. Theyre, give us a parting shot tonight on dating.
In the last, I think 6 months, I've come to realize that dating should be intentional. You should be deliberate. And as much as, like for women, we tend to always put a lot of emphasis on the guys without even realizing that we too have a lot of work to put in as well. So so that's where I'm at. And I realize that in dating, it's 2 people, not 1. It's not just the woman or just the man. Both of us have to do it together, and we have to be deliberate. So that's
fantastic. See you guys next Saturday at 8:30. This is PD. This is 60 Minutes with PD. Follow me on the platform. There's amazing videos, amazing information for everybody. Have an amazing time. I hope you've learned a lot about dating. Come just watch the video and follow the process, and you won't go wrong to find a